Imagine pouring your heart into supporting your family, doing the yard work, handling all the cleaning, and cooking every meal, only to feel invisible or, worse, like the villain in your own home. That's the situation one parent is facing right now, living with their adult daughter and her boyfriend, both of whom seem content to let the hard work fall on someone else's shoulders. Now the daughter's asking for something even bigger. She wants her parent to buy her house. Talk about a tough decision. Let's break this down, because it's a scenario more common than you might think. Multi-generational households are on the rise, with nearly 1 in 5 Americans living with relatives beyond the nuclear family. Sometimes it's to pool resources, sometimes it's for care, and sometimes, let's be honest, it's just what makes sense financially in a world where housing costs keep climbing. But when the lines blur between helping out and being taken advantage of, things can get messy fast. Now, in this particular case, the parent feels unappreciated and even dismissed. They say, "When I say anything, I am immediately wrong unless my daughter wants something." That's not just a communication issue. It's a red flag about boundaries and respect. And when money enters the picture, especially big money like buying a house, those underlying problems can get a lot worse. So what are the stakes here? On one hand, buying a house for a family member can be a massive act of generosity. Home ownership is still a cornerstone of the American dream, but fewer young adults can afford to get their foot in the door these days. According to the National Association of Realtors, the median price for a home in the U.S. is hovering around $400,000, and with mortgage rates at their highest in over 2 decades, many first-time buyers are simply priced out. Parents stepping in to help is becoming more common too. A recent survey found that about 38% of first-time home buyers under 30 receive financial assistance from family. It can be a real lifeline. But here's where things get tricky. Generosity without boundaries can become enabling. If the daughter and her boyfriend aren't contributing to the household or respecting the parent's role, what's to say that dynamic will improve once money changes hands? In fact, tying yourself financially to a situation that already feels unbalanced could deepen those resentments and make it harder to change the status quo. There's also the question of investment. Is this parent being asked to buy the house as a gift, a loan, or as a co-owner? Each option comes with its own risks. Gifting a house can trigger tax consequences. Anything over $17,000 per year, per person, can count toward the federal gift tax. Lending money to family can strain relationships if payments are missed or expectations aren't clear. And co-owning a home with family can get complicated fast, especially if living arrangements or life circumstances change. Looking at the bigger financial picture, tying up a large sum in real estate could also impact this parent's retirement security. Americans are living longer, and many are finding that their retirement savings aren't stretching as far as they hoped, especially with inflation eating into fixed incomes. If this parent spends their nest egg on a family home now, will they still have enough to take care of themselves later? It's a big question, and one that needs careful consideration. Let's not forget the emotional side. Money and family are a combustible mix. Studies show that financial disputes are one of the leading causes of rifts between relatives, and once trust is broken, it's tough to rebuild. The parent in this story already feels like their voice isn't being heard. Imagine how that dynamic could escalate if they become the official owner or financier of the house. It's not just about dollars and cents. It's about respect, autonomy, and long-term harmony. So what's the best way forward? Experts generally recommend putting clear boundaries and expectations in writing before making any big financial commitments. That might mean drawing up a formal loan agreement, setting ground rules for contributions to household chores and expenses, or even bringing in a family counselor or financial planner to mediate. The goal is to protect relationships while also protecting everyone's financial future. It's also worth asking some tough questions. Why is the daughter pushing for this now? Is she looking for stability, or is she trying to offload responsibility? What's the plan if circumstances change? Say if the boyfriend moves out, or if the parent needs to move for health reasons. And perhaps most importantly, will saying yes to this request actually improve the situation, or just paper over deeper issues that need to be addressed? Historically, families who navigate these kinds of transitions successfully are the ones who communicate openly and set clear boundaries. It's not about being stingy or cold-hearted. It's about making sure that generosity doesn't turn into resentment down the road. After all, financial decisions like these don't just affect the present. They can shape family dynamics for years, even generations to come. So if you're ever in a situation like this, remember, it's okay to say no, or at least to pause and think it through. Helping family is important, but so is protecting your own well-being and financial security. Maybe the real question isn't just whether to buy the house, but how to build a healthier, more respectful relationship. One where everyone contributes, everyone is heard, and nobody feels taken for granted. At the end of the day, money can't buy respect, but thoughtful boundaries, set with care and clarity, just might. As the housing market and family dynamics evolve, these decisions will only get more complex and more crucial. The choices you make today could echo for decades. So what would you do?